Hey guys, Dr. J here. Today I would like to show you 3 strategies you can use to defeat the Tower Knight demon. In the first one I'll be using a melee weapon. I'm just going to use a normal unupgraded scimitar. This strategy is highly dependent on your melee weapon. If it is a powerful one, this would be by far the fastest way to kill this boss. The one I'm going to be using for this demonstration, however, is super weak, so it will take quite a while to kill him. But that doesn't mean the fight is particularly difficult. The damage we'll be taking is not too bad, and we'll have plenty of opportunities to heal. You do have to understand how the boss works though, otherwise it might look like an impossible fight. Okay, I think that's enough information for now. Let's go through the fog gate and start the fight. As usual, we should two-hand the weapon. We're not going to be needing the shield. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is clear the crossbowmen shooting at us from the top of the walls surrounding the courtyard. If you have a sufficiently powerful melee weapon, this step is unnecessary. The only reason we need to clear them is because in a prolonged fight, they can become pretty annoying. I'll fast forward to the part where we're killing them, since there's nothing particularly special about it. Okay, so this is the last of the crossbowmen. Now, the way we kill the Tower Knight with a melee weapon is by first attacking his feet until he loses balance and falls, and then attacking his head where he's vulnerable. Both of his feet have lock-on points. We should deal a certain amount of damage to them before he falls down. You'll know when you've done enough damage when the lock-on point disappears. When that happens to both of his legs, he'll fall down on his back. That can cause some problems, as he may fall in such a way that you won't be able to reach his head. Okay, we've dealt enough damage to his right leg, so let's continue with his left. The Tower Knight has 3 types of melee attacks. The most annoying one is when he jumps backwards. There is very little warning when he does it. Other than that, he can bash his shield on the ground, which we can pretty much ignore since we'll try to stay at his back, and he can also stomp his feet on the ground. That one has a long wind-up, so it's also very easy to avoid. Okay, he's going to fall down. We should be careful when that happens and get out of his way, otherwise we'll get stunned and waste time we could be DPSing him. He doesn't stay down for long, and when he starts getting up, we should back away a bit. It's not the end of the world even if he hits us, none of his attacks are particularly powerful. After the first time we get him down, we only need to attack one of his legs to get him back down again. I tried to heal at the wrong time, but as you can see, we barely lost any health. He'll try to stomp with his leg. And he's going down again. I couldn't back away far enough, so we got a bit hurt again, but the main issue is that because of his shield and the wall to the right of us, we can't hit his head, which wasted a bit more time. Anyway, that's pretty much all of the important points for this fight. Just to recap, start by killing off all the crossbowmen, then attack his feet, and when he goes down, start hitting his head. And don't worry about taking damage, you should be able to tank his attacks easily. Okay, I'll fast forward to the rest of the fight, since there's nothing else interesting going to happen. Okay, just a couple more hits, and he's dead. So there you have it. Like I said, if we had an actually useful melee weapon, it would have taken us way less time to kill him this way. But even with this weak little scimitar, as long as we deal with the crossbowman upstairs, it's not really a difficult fight. Okay, next I'll show you how to kill him if your main weapon is a bow. The most important thing we need to have prepared if we're going to be using a bow is having enough arrows. The Tower Knight's physical resistance is quite a bit higher than its magic resistance, so we probably should have at least 50 arrows to be absolutely sure we have enough to kill him. Other than that, the strat starts the same. We should first kill the crossbowmen on the walls. We don't need to kill all 8 of them though. clearing only one side is enough. Once we do that, we should take up one of the crossbowman's positions closest to the tower knight, lock onto him and start shooting at him the moment he begins his lance attack animation. After we shoot the arrow, we should back away a bit so we don't get hit by the lance and then go back to our original position. It will take quite a while to kill him this way, but we're completely safe up here, so just be patient and continue repeating this cycle until he dies. One of the remaining crossbowmen may aggro and keep shooting at you. If you find this annoying, feel free to go to the other side and kill them as well. But if you position yourself on the first step of this small staircase, the railings should protect you from their attacks. The tower knight may move around a bit, and if you find that he's positioned somewhere that you're having troubles hitting him with your arrows, feel free to change your position as well. But usually he's staying in a place where he has line of sight to you, so he can hit you with his lance, which also means you should be able to hit him with your arrows. Well, that's about it. I'll be fast-forwarding the remaining of the fight, since there's really nothing else to do but repeat this pattern over and over again. Just one more arrow and we're done. Next, I'll show you how to kill the tower knight using magic. More precisely, the saw arrow. It's pretty much the same as the bow strat, but it will take way less time simply because the damage of the saw arrow is gonna be much higher. I'll also be using footage from my walkthrough, since that's the method I used when creating it. We will again start by clearing one of the walls from crossbowmen. We don't really have to prepare anything in particular for this fight, besides the saw arrow spell and the catalyst of course. As long as you're at full mana, you don't need neither the fragrant ring or the spices. We'll be dealing 3 times as much damage with each saw arrow compared to when we use the bow. Well, that actually depends on the type of bow and arrows we're using. If we had something like the white bow and white arrows, then obviously our damage would be much higher. But then you'd have to compare it with a Soul Ray and the Insanity Catalyst, so... At the end of the day, the Tower Knight's resistance to magic is simply much lower than his physical resistance. Right, so I'll fast forward the rest of this fight again, since there's nothing else to comment about it. We should keep repeating this cycle until he dies. One more cast should do it. And he's dead. We're done with the Tower Knight. Those were the 3 easiest ways to defeat him. Obviously, depending on when you decide to tackle 1-2, your fight with him may be much faster and easier. I hope the video was useful to you, and if it was, I would appreciate it if you press the like button. Or leave a comment, or both. Tomorrow we'll take a look at the Penetrator Demon.